Hello everyone, good morning. Today we are again live here with a new topic, and this topic is all about scaling your business. So mind it, everybody wants to grow, everybody wants to scale. But when it comes to scaling, there are different sets of actions required, there are different strategies required, because whatever you are doing, you are getting one result. Now, if you want to change the result, you have to change the actions. So welcome once again, everyone. Today we are going to talk about scaling secrets, ways to exponential growth. So that's the topic of the day, and that was high in demand. So understand that this is not for beginners. You need to have something already to scale up, right? 0 multiplied by any number will become 0. So you have to have at least something, right? So I'll be discussing everything in detail about how you're going to scale your business, right? So all get up. I'm also looking forward to much more interactions from your side. So I'll be waiting for another 10-15 seconds. I know it's a Saturday, people would be busy in their personal stuff. That's okay. It's a part of life. But you have to choose your priority when you want to learn something. So that's it. Let's start. So I'm talking about scaling secrets, right? So let me just share my screen and then I'll tell you what all it includes and what all you need to do this. Right? So here I go. Let me just okay. So we are talking about scaling secrets, and this is covering your growth and business toward exponential growth, right? So when I say scaling, what do you mean by scaling? Moving ahead, growing more, right? Adding more revenue, adding more customers, reaching out to more and more people. So that is what it is called scaling. So actually, if I talk in business terms about having more market share, right? Scaling is what? Having more market share inside your business. Let's say you start with 0, then you reach a level, let's say 1%, then you want to go to 5%, 10%, 20%, and so on and so forth. So that is what scaling means. Again, depends upon the nature of your business, right? The product and services, everything included. But overall, scaling in general means market share, revenue, growth, number of customers, team, infrastructure, everything is a part of scaling. Because when you scale in numbers, when you scale in a business, you have to scale your backend team as well. So scaling is not one particular simple thing. It's about multiple things put together, and that multiple things put together is all about, you know, having different kinds of actions put in place. So I can see, welcome Divya. Good to see you. Okay. So now I'm going to cover what this means. So we are talking about scaling your business. What does it mean? When I'm saying scaling, you should be having something. As I said, you should be having something to scale. Zero cannot be, increased if multiplied by even a bigger number. So when I say scaling, that means you already have an audience, right? You already have a proven offer. That means you have been selling something or the other, whatever, whether it is a low value product or a high value product, doesn't mean. But you should be having a proven offer. Then you should be having a trust pyramid. That means there would be a set of audience who trust you in the market, right? And next is a business system. You should be having a business system, correct? And delivery model and a support system. So when I say that this is a scaling technique or scaling philosophy, you should be having all these things in place in some form or the other. As I said, I'm saying audience. That doesn't mean you need to have 100 audience or 1,000 audience. You should be having at least one or two customers whom you have already worked with. You have a proven offer. That means you have already sold something to somebody and it has given you some results. People have got some results. Trust pyramid. That means there are a lot of people who trust you low at a low level, and there are people who also trust you more. So that trust pyramid comes into play. Then you should be having a business system. Business system means there should be a model where you are, approaching people, you are generating leads, and all those things come together inside a business system. How you are marketing, how you are selling, and all those other steps, come into play, right? So here, I wanted to tell you that when we talk about all this business system, delivery model, and a support system, that means it talks about all compiled together becomes a business model, right? So business model is what we need to understand. I don't know how many of people are using what business system. So if you can just tell me what business system or what business model are you using? Let me tell you, I have been asking these questions to so many people, and I have got very few answers because nobody is following and understanding what a business model is, right? So to understand what a business model is, you need to understand the elements of a business model first. So that is what I have covered here. A business model comprises of so many other elements, but basically there are four elements which I'm going to talk about now, which needs to be very clear in your mind before you adopt any of the business model. And all these business models needs all those four elements, whatever product or service you are selling, especially inside this coaching industry, right? So let's understand this. When I'm saying business model, every business model comes with some value propositions, right? And that value is pre you acquire a customer and post you acquire a customer, right? So the value remains different, right? Understand the fact that people who are not aware of you, you need to do something as a part of your business to get to those people, understand what they need, what are you going to serve them with, and all those things. So there comes the part of market research and marketing research that I'll be talking about in a different topic. And post you acquire a customer, you need to have another system to deliver, to get them implement all these things and get results, right? So keeping all this in mind, I'm going to talk about the four elements of business models. So the first element is proposing value. When I say proposing value, the key step here in proposing value is the promise to the right solution which they're looking for. To do this, you need to understand who your audience is, where you can find them, what does your dream client look like. All these things I have talked about in multiple different ways and different, because unless and until you know your customers, whom are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk to? Whom you are going to talk with, right? All these things put together comes in proposing value, right? And what delivery you are willing to give and your expectations. the client expectations, everything put together is a part of proposing value. So you understand the first part, the first element of this business model is proposing value. You need to propose a value. Now, next is creating value. When I say creating value, you need to ask questions what they are looking for, where they are stuck, how you can help them learn, how you can help them implement, and how you can help them succeed. Because ultimately, doesn't matter what you are doing, doesn't matter how good your product or service is, doesn't matter how much effort and things are required, but ultimately what the customer wants is the result. So there should be a system of creating this kind of a value for your audience where you are asking, helping them at different levels. Again, as I said, business models, every business model has a particular outcome. And the outcome is what? The result to your result to your customers, right? So if you don't create value in different formats, in different ways, how are you going to interact with your audience, right? Now, the third point comes here as delivering value. So this is again, obviously, this comes as a part of your post-acquisition of a client. When you have promised something and you have acquired a customer, the customer has come with a trust. Now you need to deliver something. Now to deliver all these things, especially in online coaching business, these are the essential things you should be pondering over. Number one, is your business offering one or different solutions? Right? I've seen people talking about many things altogether, which confuses the customer. You should be having one particular offer, one particular area of work, one particular outcome of that particular solution. So understand that when you are going to deliver value, you cannot deliver multiple values all at a time. That has to be either done in a sequence or you have to get into a different model altogether. Then are you offering values free or paid? Again, this is a delivery model. And when I'm talking about a post thing, a post, obviously your client has paid you something or the other. So are you meeting those prerequisites for your customers? Are they getting that kind of a value which you are going to propose to them, right? Now, what can you do to bring the offer closer to them? That means they are looking for some results, obviously, right? They're not here to, spend time just like that. So you have to be very particular about what deliverables they need to do and what are they trying to get from you. What do they stand for? All these things put together, I think delivering is one of those essential part of your coaching business, right? And then comes the part where you are capturing value. So when we say, and I'm very blunt in this, people do say that they are here to help people and do everything. Even I do say that, but ultimately there is a business. There is a model where you help people and you get money. If you are not generating revenue, you are not doing a business. So mind it, when I say capturing value, it is about how you are going to make things happen for them, right? So you should be considering the following aspects of capturing value. What is that? Number one, are you widely liked by all those people? Are you making that impact which is going to matter to them? Understand and relate to it. From a customer perspective, from a prospect perspective, you should be thinking about whatever you are doing, is it going to create some impact in their business, their lives? If yes, you're good to go. And that is where capturing value comes into play. Whatever are you doing? Right? You are doing what you like. Now comes to your part. If you are going to create that kind of an impact, it doesn't happen in a day. So you have to be very particular about choosing your own passion and then getting into all this. Because if you don't like what you do, you will not be able to deliver that kind of a value, not be able to capture that kind of a value. And you should be making a difference, right? So these are the four aspects of any business model, correct? I'll just repeat it. You need to consider proposing value, creating value, delivering value, and then capturing value. So these are the four aspects of any business model. Now, based on all these four parameters, there have been numerous business models evolved. You must have heard of all of this. One-on-one, which is a personal coaching, one-to-many, which is a group coaching. Then people are selling online courses, people are selling subscription models, and there could be some other as well, because some things are definitely happening new every time in this coaching industry, online coaching industry especially. So based on these four parameters, the following models are there. Now you need to choose any one of those models which suits you the best, right? And you definitely would be doing it. Today, if you are here, you understand we are talking about scaling. So definitely you must be having one of these models in which you are working today. Now, when I talk about scaling, this is what we are going to talk. So maybe that was an intro to what you should be understanding as a business model, because you understand, if you see the topic which I have mentioned, the topic is transforming your business model for exponential growth. So again, I come to the same point. If you want to change the result, if you want to scale, whatever you have been doing today, you are getting a result, one result. Correct? Now, when you want to change the result, you want to grow better, or you want to do something different, you have to change your business model. You have to change something in your business which you're already doing. If you continue doing the same thing, you will be continue getting the same results. So here the growth happens with change in business model, right? Now, when I say changes in business model, what are the two ways in which you can scale your business? That's the topic of the day, right? So let's understand this fact. Uh, yeah. So let's understand how these things can be done. So based on my experience and my learnings, I have derived two approaches to scale your business. I don't know whether you get this thing in on online word internet or not, because these are my own learnings which I have put in these words. Right? You might not get a similar term, but this is what I have understood and this is what I'm going to explain. Right? So scaling happens through changes in the business model in two ways. The first approach is narrowing approach, and the second is the broadening approach. Right? Very simple words. You can understand what do you mean by narrowing, what do you mean by broadening. Right? So this, like you are going from a bigger way to a thinner way. That becomes narrowing, and from a thinner way to a bigger way, that becomes broadening. So these are the two approaches, and how you are going to use in your business, that I'll be covering. So let's understand it by the elements of your current business, right? We have already talked about that you must be having something in your business if you are here to scale. What are those things? Audience, offer, trust pyramid, business system, delivery model, and support system. Now, keeping, in fact, these things in mind, let's understand these two approaches, how these are gonna do for you. The first is narrowing approach. I hope I am not, what do you say, not so fast. Is it okay? I could see a few people. Shweta is here, Anjali is here, Akif is here, Dibya is here. I hope I'm okay. You can ask any question in between. I'm open to answer to that. Don't wait for the training to complete or end, right? So I'm most open to take any questions any of the time. Please do raise your hand so that I can talk to you, right? So let's go. The narrowing approach, as I said, narrowing is you are going through a bigger pipeline and you are narrowing it. How it is going to help you scale, that I'm going to cover. So first of all, audience. You are working with some audience. Now, when you want to scale, you have to narrow your audience and get into a micro or a specialized needs. I'll give you an example. It's very simple. If you go to a general physician, you pay a fee, which is, let's say, 500, 700,000 rupees. But compared to a physician, if you go to a specialist, let's say you go to an ENT specialist, you go to a dentist, you go to a whatever, a heart surgeon, or you go to a gastro, whatever fields they are. If they are an expert, what are we doing? We are narrowing our customers. We are not going to take care of every other person coming in the hospital. We are, like in the case of doctor, they are specifically treating those people who are suffering from those kind of ailments, right? So what happens here? You are an expert in that particular field and you have to be charging more, and people are charging more. You see, any specialized fields charge more, right? Doctor is an example. Go to any of those, specific shops. Let's say if it's a jewelry shop, definitely they'll be charging little more than the other retail shops. Kind of. There could be a number of examples specifically here. And let's say I give you example of your kids, right? Let's say you are sending your kid to a swimming training or a martial art training or a dance class. They'll be charging more than you pay somewhere else. So every specialized fields comes with a specific price, which is more than the generic price. So here what is happening, you have to, when you want to scale, mind it, we are talking about narrowing approach. In this narrowing approach, you have to narrow your audience, get into a micro and specialized niche, work with a very few but high paying clients, and become a super expert in that particular domain. I'll give you an example. You must have heard about people teaching yoga, health, and everything. There are people, I'll just give an example. Since I keep on meeting and exploring other people as well, other coaches, I'll just give an example. There is a lady who helps women to reduce their fat and become slim post delivery. Now, this is a super micro niche. Yoga can be implemented for people, youngsters to old age people, right? Everybody knows yoga is helpful. But that lady is only specifically working for women who have just given birth to babies. And at the time when women give birth to babies, they accumulate fat and other things are there. So she's only helping those women to become slim again, as simple. So that becomes a micro niche. So at that place, you charge super special price because even the people who are paying you, they understand that you are a specialist in this particular field, right? So this is what narrowing audience means. Is it clear? You don't have to work with everyone, mind it. If you want to charge premium, if you want to scale high, this is one of the approaches, the narrowing approach where I talked about audience. So narrow your audience, get into a specialized niche and become a super expert in that particular domain and you can charge high. Next point is signature offer. You have to develop a signature offer. Now, what is a signature offer? I don't know how many people know about it or not. Maybe I can cover it in other way because this is a different topic altogether. Signature offer, just understand that signature offer is an offer which can be scaled. Number one, you can do some revamping. You don't have to create multiple offers at the same time. The same offer can accumulate other aspects of the business which can give you better audience, right? Now, working only in the blue ocean. How many of you know about blue ocean and red ocean? I'm not sure, but if you don't know, I can just tell you that blue ocean is something which is unexplored or very little explored, where you have less competition. So when you create a signature offer for a specific set of audience, which you have already talked about, you become a super specialist and you are not competing with anybody. You have created something very special, right? Special product for a very specific audience. So that becomes your signature offer. Correct? Now, this is one of those things which is required and people miss a lot on this. You have to add more to trust pyramid. I'll tell you, any transaction will happen only when you create that kind of a trust. So pyramid, you understand, pyramid is the base is bigger and it goes, upwards and narrows, right? Towards up. Correct? So what happens is when somebody meets you, they have very less trust in you because they don't know much about you. The more you spend time with them with certain other things, the trust keeps on increasing. And when the trust comes to a threshold level where people do understand that you are really worth and trustworthy, then a transaction happens. So what are you going to add more to trust? Number one, you have to increase your social visibility, right? When I say social visibility, it could be online or offline. That's okay. But primarily we are talking about online business. So you have to be more focused on doing and showing your visibility through multiple social media platforms. You have to leverage content marketing because content are the things which goes to the people. Because of your content only people perceive, make a perspective about what you are, who you are, what are you doing and how you are doing things. Then it's not only about visibility, you have to optimize your presence as well. Like I have heard a lot of people saying that I have created an account, I have created a page, I have created a website. So what? So what if you've created a social media profile? That doesn't mean anything to business. You have to optimize your presence so that people start talking to you. People start viewing you, all those things. Then, as I said, since you already have some customers, you need to leverage the social proof and testimonials to add to this trust pyramid, right? And the most important thing is building relationship. I always say that you have to build relationship one-on-one because relationship cannot be built one-to-many. Am I right? We talk to one person at a time, right? Or even if we are talking to a group of people, we are not building that kind of a trust. I always say that we love one-to-one. We quarrel with one on one. We fight with one on one. We deceive one on one. We do not uh, make any relationship which is one to many. Excuse me. So what you have to do, you have to build one on one relationship, right? And this is adding to your trust pyramid, right? This was the third parameter. The first was audience, second is signature offer, third is trust pyramid. Now, to understand a funnel and a pyramid, this is a simple diagram which I wanted to show it to you. When we say funnel, everybody knows that top of the funnel is broader, right? Top of the funnel is broader where you are bringing people inside. And as and when people start considering you, getting aware and building more and more trust, then only with the loyalty comes the conversions, right? That is what a funnel talks about. Compared to the funnel, our trust pyramid is entirely opposite. Initially, on the top of the pyramid, you don't have trust level built, right? So people will just see you and slowly they'll be becoming your fans. So that is the top of the pyramid of trust pyramid I'm talking about, right? When they become your fan, they start feeling happy when they see you. Making sense? That is what you have to do. Once you start getting people inside your funnel, start making your fans. The more you make fans, the more happier your audience would be. The more happy your audience would be, the next would be they'll try to connect with you. And once they connect with you, they'll be finding more confidence in you and inside themselves that they're talking to the right person, right? And then the trust is built. So the funnel, which is a marketing funnel or a sales funnel versus a trust pyramid, it's entirely, opposite. But if you combine together, you're getting a rectangle actually. These two images, if I put it in a triangle, the funnel also, it will become a parallelogram actually, right? So everything matters, but in a different way. So this funnel and the trust pyramid goes hand in hand, mind it. You need to understand the concept and the philosophy behind understanding a sales and a marketing funnel where you are acquiring new customers every single day. And on the other hand, the trust pyramid is also increasing, going down by, the funnel is narrowing down and the trust pyramid is broadening down. But combined together, you have trust built. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Now let's move on to the another thing. Business system. Business is run through a system. So that is what our business system is, in simple words. Now, when I say business system, for a business, you need to have customers end of the day. To get your customers, what you are doing? Do you have a plan in place? Do you have a strategy in place? So to do that, whether it is organic or inorganic, doesn't matter. You have to have a pre-decided content strategy. You have to understand that you have to create content for different sections of your audience. Like, let's say, I talk about the funnel. Somebody would be knowing you today for the very first time. Somebody might be knowing you for, let's say, 10 days or 2 months. Somebody might be knowing you for last 6 months. So all these people are at different stages inside your funnel. You have to understand at what stage your audience is and to what audience you are creating your content. Are you creating your content for the people who have just come and want to know you? Or you want to create content for people who have already been in contact with you for some time, right? Or you want to create content for somebody who's already ready to buy from you. So depending upon the warmth of your audience or leads, we call it, you have to understand to create content, right? And it has to be a combination of all those because every time you have all this set of audience because you are already in a business. So some people would be cold, some people would be warm, some people would be hot. So you have to keep in mind that should be a balance of content which should be catering to all of this audience, right? So you should be having a pre-decided content strategy. Then you should be having multiple funnels, whether it is organic or inorganic, doesn't matter. But you have to add leads every single day. If it is your business, you have to add leads, whatever way it may be, right? So people are using paid ads to generate leads. That's okay. People are doing organic. That's okay. But every lateral funnel should be giving you multiple leads. That is what the purpose is. And that is a part of your business system. If you're not generating lead, how can you expect your conversions or how can you expect new customers? So that is a system where you start talking to people, you start warming up them, you start talking to them, And then there would be a time when you offer them something and people will buy from you. That is how a funnel works, right? So irrespective of organic or inorganic, you have to create multiple funnels and start generating leads. That's a part of your business system. Next is building a community. If you want to nurture your audience, if you want to give value to your audience, nobody will buy directly from somebody who is very unknown. So you have to build a community. A community is required for you to nurture your audience, cater to them, take care of them so that there would be a time when they say, yes, now I'm ready, and then we becoming a customer, right? And then you have to create an online space, especially since we are talking about online business. There should be a place where you can talk to people. Whether you do any event, whether you do some live or recorded programs, doesn't matter. Or you just do a Q&A session, doesn't matter at all. The only thing is you need to have a place where you can interact with people, whether it is one-on-one, whether it is one-to-many. So that adds to your business system. If you have all this system in place, your scaling will be done through this narrowing part. Understand, we are still here in the narrowing approach, correct? So we have covered all these points. Now I'm going to cover about the delivery model, right? In the narrowing approach, you have two delivery models. Whether it is one-on-one with a high paying customer, number one, could be one of the delivery models. And the second is one-to-many, where you are catering to many people altogether, but not so high. So here you can cater to the masses. But mind it, here we are talking about one product, one service, one solution, right? And that is where I talked about narrowing. You are narrowing your services with different aspects, but ultimately what you are doing is you are being specific. You are specialized in one particular core subject domain, and you are just the delivery model changes here. And this delivery model is to cater to scaling as well, because maybe this one-to-one may be exhaustive. You should be not spending more time if you don't want. Actually, there is a time limitation, but one-to-many could be one solution where you could cater to more and more people, and you can definitely scale your business, right? So now there could be like you can have a one-on-one, let's say for $5,000, one-to-many you can have for $1,000, right? With less accountability comparatively, less of your time commitment comparatively. So these two models normally work when we talk about narrowing your approach, narrowing your scaling method, right? So you are obviously giving solutions to your customer in different roles and tonality, different models. And then comes the support system. There should be a community support, because when you have a set of audience, you should be creating a community. I have already talked about it. There should be some technical support for people who are scaling and they want some technical help. I'm not saying you to do it for them, but you can definitely give them a technical support, what to do, how to do, or what not to do in some sequential manner, not as a service. This is a support minded. I'm just talking about a support system. Since you are a coach, you are teaching somebody, you should be doing that. And then comes the third part, which is personal support. Why I'm saying this? Because whether it is one-to-one or one-to-many, people would be looking for your personal support. So even in one-to-one, obviously you are giving more accountability, more support. But even if it is one-to-many, you should be having some resources or some way where you are going to give them personal support, right? So these were the 5-6 elements of narrowing approach towards your scaling. I hope this is making sense, right? Now we'll move towards the broadening approach. Okay, so now here is broadening approach. As I said, it is like, going from a thinner passage to a broader passage. This is the broadening approach. Now what all you are going to do? Again, with the same parameters, you have to understand, you have to broaden your audience. Now you are at a point where you want to scale. Mind it, that narrowing approach is getting inside in a blue ocean, narrowing down to high ticket customers and all those things. Here, when you have a set of audience already there, now you want to scale up through broadening process. What you have to do? You have to broaden your audience. Get into multiple generalized niche. So that will happen. I'll just give an example which can relate to you. Let's say we all know about Tata. Tata started with steel factories. Now they are into software. They are into manufacturing of vehicles. They are into medicines like Tata 1mg being occupied by Tata. So now they have multiple, audience for different segments. We talk about Amazon. Amazon started with what? Selling books online. Now they have crores and crores of millions and millions, billions of products sold all over the world. But they started with one. So what is happening here is now initially they started with only the people who were looking forward to read books, interested in books. Now you have n number of products on their platform. So what do they do? They broaden their audience, right? They went into generalized products, right? And they started working with masses, with low or high value product, doesn't matter. So you are now catering to masses, right? So when you are broadening, you have to take care of this and target only simple and easy results. Because when you are selling multiple products, you cannot commit a very high outcome, right? So even your audience understands that. So keeping all this in mind, you can broaden your audience so that you get scalability to your business. That is number one point. Now, you have to create multiple offers because since you have multiple products, you definitely need to have multiple offers which caters to the masses. Now, one set of audience would be having one offer. Let's say Amazon is selling clothes. Clothes also has multiple niches. Kids clothes, women clothes, fashion clothes, ethnic wear. Go to electronic items. There are different electronic items. Mobiles are for different categories. So what is happening is in this particular module, in this particular aspect of broadening, you are creating multiple offers with multiple products with multiple clientele, right? And here you are positioning yourself midway. You are not being very cheap. You are not being very high as well. People who are selling similar kind of a product, you have to keep yourself little down because you are catering to more and more masses here, right? Now, coming back to the pyramid, we have already talked about the trust pyramid in the funnel. Here, you don't have to build that kind of a trust because you are not selling a premium product. You are selling a generalized product. I told you. You are catering to generalized niches. You are selling generalized product. So what you have to do is you have to just leverage paid marketing to keep up your face or your business showing up inside the social media or inside with your customers with case studies, social proofs, testimonials, and obviously free values, right? So that kind of a thing will keep on shallowing your trust without diminishing neither increasing a lot because people don't need a lot of trust when they buy generalized products. Let's say we are going to buy anything like food items, groceries, whether it is a small shop, you get India Gate rice, the same quality almost. Similar things because nobody is manufacturing that. They are just trading. So you know that irrespective of who the shopkeeper is, you are getting the similar product. Similar philosophies come here. So you have to create something like a generalized product and you have to keep it on the top of your minds, on the top of minds of your customers so that people come to you. So here, trust is not very much important, but yes, you have to keep yourself visible as well as talking to the people so that they know that you are there. Simply. Now comes the business system, which I want to talk in little detail. Mostly this kind of a broadening happens with pre-decided ad strategy, which is inorganic in nature, right? You need to have bundle of funds to create this kind of a ad strategy and you have to run multiple funnels with upsells, right? You need to build a community and you also need to build a nurturing email list because mostly, what happens is when you keep on nurturing your customers through different ways, people will definitely buy at one point or another, correct? And when I talk about business system, you definitely don't need to do all this manually, especially in this online world. You have to automate your systems, automate your sales and marketing funnels, right? Then you can collaborate with other experts as well so that you can sell your product as a supplement to somebody else. Let's say if somebody is, just for sake of example, I'm giving you, let's say somebody is selling jewelry and you might be seeing this thing happening on Amazon as well. They tell you that if you're buying a cloth, this jewelry can be a good match, right? Or if you're buying a pair of shoes, they'll recommend this kind of a socks is required or this kind of a cap is required as an accessory for you to use it. So this kind of a collaboration could be done with some experts if it can complement their business, right? And obviously keep adding to the technology and upgrading your learnings with investment. This is how it will be happening when, unless and until you are aware what is happening in the market, how do you upgrade yourself, right? So upgrade your learnings with investments and keep doing this. Keep upgrading your business system, right? That is what the point is. So here inside broadening, what we are doing, we are primarily using the paid ads philosophy. We are going inorganic most of the time because we have some funds to scale up. And that is what this training is all about. We are talking about scaling up. Mind it, it's not for beginners. And here you put fund more money, you invest more money, you get multiple times return. Now comes the delivery model, right? So you have again similar models here, but here you don't want to go one-to-one because one-to-one will be more time consuming and this broadening approach will not allow you to do that. So here you have to go one-to-many, you get into online courses or subscription options. These are the three models applied here when you go for broadening approach, right? And then comes the support system. So here there should be a community support and a technical support. Here personal support is not at all required because, as I said, you are not selling a premier product. You are not selling a very big outcome. So personal support would not be required here, but a general support or a community support and technical support will do. So these are the two, approach of scaling up, which I have been using into my business. And this is what you can also do to scale up your business, right? We are done now. Now I'm open for Q&A and I look forward to your questions if any you have. Anybody have any questions, please open up your camera and let's talk. Yes. Akif, Shweta, Anjali, Vidya, any question you have related to the training which you just had? Hi,
Hello,
Anjali.
sir.
Good morning. Hi,
Hi,
good to see
Alok.
you. Hi, hi.
I don't have any questions, sir. I think I'll complete with the form fill up and all, and as I continue, I'll understand more.
Sure. Most welcome.
And the narrow approach and broad approach, I think I'll have to find out more about it, how to do it.
Yeah, we'll take care of all these things. This was a training which I already do. For you, definitely will be having personalized strategies to start and go along. Don't worry on that part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So hoping to move on with you. So I'll just take care of the formalities first, and then I'll come to you.
Sure. Nothing to worry at all. I always, make your journey easier, but with a commitment and with a small danda that you should be keep working together. That's it. That is what is required. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Good.
so much.
Thank you, Anjali. Okay,
I'm now
Divya.
leaving the room, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
no
Thank
issues.
you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. So nobody has a question, but I had an offer. I don't know people are here or not. Anyway, uh, I had an offer for every one of you who have been joining this training. But since the attendance is less, I don't want to offer that as of now. And good that you people are here, and I'm looking forward to many more such trainings with good participations. And but before that, before I close this, I wanted to just get a feedback. Shweta, can you come on the camera and give a feedback on this training? Just wanted to know how you found it. Was it helpful for you? Thank you, Vidya. Vidya, want to say something? Do you want to give a feedback on camera? If possible, you can have one small feedback how this training was. Shweta, same thing with you. Akif is, yeah, Akif also. Anybody wants to give any feedback? No, yes, something? Let me see the chat. Okay, Shweta is traveling and okay, Vidya is also. No issues. Chalo, carry on, guys. Thank you so much for attending this training session. And I'm looking forward to many more such trainings in the future. And all the best. Keep doing your good work. Let's meet. next week again. Take care. Bye bye.